Good afternoon and welcome to your daily dose of SirToshi's news. Today's date is Monday, the 11th of July 2022. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Right, here we go. Let's get into the news and just quick. Check this out. The Twitter Elon Musk fiasco. Stock falls 6.6% as Musk withdraws. Now, there's an interesting story behind this because people are saying, well, actually, maybe he might not have wanted the Twitter purchase to go through because what he's been able to do is cash in his stock, and the stock hasn't actually dropped because he said he was going to use it for something. So nobody was worried about the CEO of his own company, selling large amounts of his own stock to raise money for something else. But what if he just wanted to cash out without having too much of an effect on the price? This is what some accusations have been saying. So let's just see what it says here. Halt ahead. Elon Musk could face charges for withdrawing from Twitter deal. Stock falls 6.6%. The Elon Musk Twitter story breakup drops stock by 6.6%. Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter has been a hot topic in not just the world of finance but also in tech. On July 9th, Tesla's CEO announced that he was pulling out of the $44 billion deal to purchase the social media platform. He announced that he was pulling out of the to purchase the social media platform. The announcement had ramifications on Twitter stock prices, which fell by 6.6%. So that means he's sort of like pulled out all the money, and they said, oh, by the way, I've pulled out and now I'm not going to use it for anything. So he's just basically cashed out. Musk is a long-time proponent of Twitter and is an avid member who often uses the platform to share his thoughts. Musk recently has over 100 million followers on Twitter. His decision to pull out of the deal is the latest twist in the protracted saga. Love-hate story. We all know the story about how Twitter is just the platform for CIA and misinformation and all this kind of stuff. Public censorship and all this whatnot. But he might have done that. Who knows? There's so much skullduggery going on at the moment. It's crazy. Somebody had said here, look, Bill Gates is also smart enough not to tweet away $40 billion of his fortune. Elon Musk tweets cost him $1 billion per tweet, not to mention Tesla's stock dive, with just a little picture of him going, yeah, I did that. So, bringing out, cashing out, and then deciding that he's not going to spend it or invest it in anything. Could it have been a way to cash out and get the best value for money? Who knows? But that's what's happened. When you follow the money. Good grief. Check this out. So I posted this earlier. This is because I was trying to give people a brief history. So I said here, BTC pump and dump history. So if you want to get rid of something, you pump it and dump it. And remember, the powers that be that control the world's currency, which is USD, they can print it. They can print as much as they want. It is not backed by any commodity whatsoever. It's literally monopoly money. So if they just simply want to retain that power of the world reserve currency and they want to get rid of other, potential contenders, financially what you do is you pump and dump it. And we can see this all along. There were no reasons for particularly the first pump and dump. I think it went from $32 down to a cent. But then there was another one here in 2014. Another big pump and dump. Another one here in 2017. But again, this was to do with SegWit and BCH coming out. But again, it was a pump and dump. They restricted BTC, so you couldn't use it. They segregated the digital signatures from the transaction data, so it became economically worthless. They changed the narrative, told people not to use it, said it was a store of value. Blah, 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 blah. But it still didn't go away. And then as time went on, here in sort of around end of 2020, they were just like, it looks like it's still not going away, but we don't want people to use it and we don't want people searching for alternatives. So what can we do? We'll get Tether to pump the price. So again, number goes up, people get distracted about it. I'm feeling rich and all this kind of stuff. It's got no use case. It's not used for anything. All these things are just simply massive distraction to try and stop people from using it, because it's the utility, which is the volume of transactions and the amount of data being uploaded onto the network, that will economically self-sustain the miners after the block reward gets cut in half every 210,000 blocks. It's utility that's required. If something is useless, it's worthless. It's as simple as that. So all they're trying to do is distract people away from the genuine Bitcoin protocol by saying, oh, look at me, we're going to pump this stock. But money to them is worthless because they just print it. They don't care. Literally, they're not bothered about inflation. They honestly don't care. The only purpose that fiat currency serves is to steal as many resources as possible away from the rest of the world, because you print money from nothing. Somebody's going to sell you a load of land for some paper that you just simply printed. It's a great deal because that paper has cost you nothing, and now you've got a whole area of land that you own. Same with minerals and other bits of capital. Really, it's absolutely crazy. So I thought, this is quite interesting. Pump, and dump. And then this also follows this article here by Cointelegraph saying a brief history of, this is Corecoin BTC, crashes and bear markets from 2009 to 2020. It's quite a long article this, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'm just saying it is there. So I read quickly, here we go. So bear market number one, Bitcoin crashed from $32 to 1 cent in 2011. Again, this is the New World Order trying to get rid of it. The Bitcoin price broke its first major psychological mark of $1. I remember that. My goodness me. Back in late April 2011 to start its first ever rally to $32 on June the 8th, 2011. But the joy didn't last long, as Bitcoin subsequently plummeted in value to bottom at just 1 cent over the course of a few days. Good grief. The sharp sell-off was largely attributed to the security issues at the now defunct Mt. Gox, a Japanese crypto exchange that traded the majority of Bitcoin at the time. The exchange saw 850,000 BTC stolen due to a security breach on its platform. We know all about that. But here we go. Bear market number two. Tanks from $1,000 to below $200 in 2015. That was the first one on the graph. Number three, Bitcoin plunges below 3,200 after hitting 20,000. That was due to the Segwit fiasco. And now bear market number four, BTC slumps from $63,000 to $29,000. Is going to go a lot lower than that. My goodness me. Again, pumped by Tether and then dumped because they just simply can't sustain the amount of Tether printing. And now they're saying, bear market number five again went from 68,000 to below 20, which is where we are now. But again, they're just trying to get rid of it. You can only commoditize data one way, and that way is outlined and described in the white paper. So they're just simply trying to distract people away from it, stealing the name, changing the protocol, all this stuff. The skullduggery is horrendous. Fantastic book. What a movie. Can't wait for that one to come out. Check this one. This is a story here by CoinGeek. It's scandal-ridden Compass Mining lays off 15% of workforce, slashes exec salaries by 50%. Another day, another digital asset company announces layoffs. This time it's Compass Mining, a block reward miner that has been rocked by scandals lately, including failure to pay its vendors and the resignation of senior executives. Compass Mining announced that it's laying off 15% of its workforce and implementing significant compensation and spend reduction across the rest of the business. The company, which has offices in the US, Iceland and Canada, sells mining hardware and block reward mining hosting services. It claims to have sold over 30,000 machines and grossed over $500 million since it launched in January 2021. In a statement by its new CEO, Paul Gosker and Thomas Heller, the company said the changes would allow it to stay agile in an ever-evolving market. In addition to the layoffs, it will also slash the salaries of its senior employees and executive team by 50%. Compass Mining is the latest in a long list of digital asset companies that have announced layoffs this year. With the bear market biting hard, many companies have been forced to reduce their staff and profitability. Took a nosedive. Exchanges and digital asset lenders have been the most hit as their businesses were modelled around a market that's always going up. With the likes of Coinbase, Nasdaq Coin and Crypto.com, BlockFi and more all announcing layoffs. Some like Celsius and Voyager have gone bust. And just like many others, Compass Mining stated that it was a victim of growing too aggressively. Whatever, growing too aggressively, getting greedy, not really understanding that Bitcoin is BSV. Really, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Check this one out. It says KPMG to audit new pound-backed stablecoin. Really? And what network is going to be hosting this pile of crap? Honestly, they're all just illegal security offerings. Anyway, let's have a quick look at this. In terms of daily turnover, the British pound is the fourth most traded fiat currency in the world, according to the Bank for International Settlements. Fintech firm Blackfridge has launched a new stablecoin that is fully backed by the British pound, potentially opening the door to a wider adoption of digital assets in the United Kingdom and its crown dependencies. Or whatever. It just sounds like an absolute load of crap. The newly launched pound token, which trades under the ticker symbol GBTP, will be available for trading at Gate.io, Bittrex Global, and Uniswap. Blackfridge announced Monday. I mean, this could again just be another Ponzi scheme. They're just like, give us your money and we'll give you this worthless digital token. Yeah, this is literally all it is. There is no need to trade Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin for its utility. That is it. You don't need stable coins. Not for its true purpose. The only reason stable coins exist is to actually destabilize Bitcoin as a medium of exchange. That is literally it. Again, I mean, it's all scams. Just trying to stop people from using it. You don't need it. Honestly, you do not need these stable coins. Bitcoin is a medium of exchange, but it's a digital commodity. You use it to commoditize your data, as in like secure your data, and as a medium of exchange for goods and services, because of those 5 pillars of a digital commoditization, which is a fixed supply, lock protocol, infinite scale, economic competition, which means there's an economic opportunity cost to its creation, and then a chain of digital signatures for common accountability. It is a commodity, and it gets its value from the utility of its network, where you can own your own data because it's funded and the network is economically sustained by Bitcoin itself. So it's not attached, not dependent on fiat currency like every other business in the world is. And that's why they say whoever who controls money controls the world, and Bitcoin sits out of that because it actually commoditizes data. It's a phenomenal system, but you can read the article if you really want to. Check this one out. Tether fortifies its reserves. Will it silence critics, mollify investors? I doubt it. Not when you look at not when you look who's behind it, what they've been using it for in their history. It's absolutely outrageous. USDT is under attack from short sellers. Would they go away if only the company hired a Big Four accounting firm to audit its balance sheet? Yeah, but it's meant to be one-to-one, literally US dollar. They do not have those US dollars in their reserves at all, anywhere near it. It's ridiculous. I can't remember what other sort of assets they were saying were trying to justify the amount that they've got. But I mean, it's a commercial paper. That's what it was. Honestly, absolute shite. Absolute shite. And who's going to lend them the money to be audited? It's just honestly, I just hang my head. Check this one out. US crypto regulation bill aims to bring a greater clarity to DAOs. Well, DAOs are no different to limited liability partnerships, to be honest with you, or just partnerships in general. And it's kind of like as if the regulators know anything, about DeFi and Bitcoin and digital assets. I mean, they literally cannot distinguish between a digital security and a digital commodity because they haven't understood the 5 pillars of digital commoditization that I just mentioned there. So if you do understand what I've just said there, you are miles ahead of the market, miles ahead. So you can position yourself accordingly, as smart people would do. This one here says, crypto needs regulation to mitigate risks, says Bank of England exec. Really? Well, the British pound is backed by dollars, and dollars is just simply printed by an American corporation that is not federal, nothing to do with government, and has private shareholders. It's securities fraud, really. And so, the bank would take their side if they don't want Bitcoin around, so they're going to come out with stuff like this. It doesn't need regulating. It's a commodity. Like, does gold need regulating? Does the number 1 need regulating? No, because it's set. You can't change it. Well, you can change it, but the drawback is that you crash its fundamental value to zero by turning it into a security. It's as simple as that. Like, it doesn't need governments. You can only commoditize data with those five pillars, principal pillars that I've mentioned there, constructs, fixed supply, log protocol, infinite scale, economic competition, and common accountability with a chain of signatures. That is it. So yeah, they can say all they want. It needs regulating. It's a commodity, therefore it falls under the CFTC. It's as simple as that. Check this out. This is kind of quite exciting. So TAL signed hosting agreement with Lake Parime to bring 3,000 machines online with clean energy by Q4 in the US. I mean, TAL is doing blinding work, but that's really exciting. TAL obviously mining BSV. BSV with the only protocol that commoditizes data with those 5 constructs in place. They've got a very bright future ahead of them. Check this one out. So this is a quote here from Satoshi Nakamoto himself. So I thought this was interesting. He said the number of addresses is not a measure of the number of users. One user should on average have around 15,000 addresses a year. A company could have 250 to 750,000 addresses per year, like a small company. So again, this is because when you use a paymail generates a new legacy address every time a new transaction is made, so that each transaction is unique, which means any third parties cannot actually track a specific wallet on the blockchain. So it's for privacy, really. So the number of active addresses, really, like I said here, is not a measure of the number of users. But people need to understand that. But tell you what we will do. So this sort of tells you he's obviously calculated the number of transactions that the average person makes. So let's say we've got 15,000 divided by 365 for 41 transactions a day on average. 41 transactions a day. Wow. So there we go. He's looked at those figures. And here we go. I just thought this last bit was quite good here. So this is a little video we're going to play. So it says, great blockchain explainer video. Explain it to me like a 10-year-old. So have a listen to this. It actually outlines the value proposition of blockchain technology. Check it out.
Daddy, what does fair trade mean?
Well, sweetheart, it means that everyone who helped make the chocolate, from the farmer who harvests the cocoa bean to the factory worker who wraps the bar, got treated well and paid a fair sum.
But how do you know they aren't just saying that?
Well, I mean...
Of course, in the future, we'll never have to doubt the provenance of anything ever again.
Where'd you learn a big word like that, sweetie?
Well, current banking systems run on private, centralised ledgers, meaning value gets traded slowly, indirectly, and with a high propensity for fraud. Distributed ledger technology will change all that.
Distributed ledger technology? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about blockchain.
What on earth's blockchain? And what's going on?
Oh, Daddy, it's like that paper chain I made on the fridge. Except, instead of paper, it's made up of blocks of chronological transactions, time-stamped and added to the chain. And instead of putting it on the fridge, it's distributed to the ledger of everyone in the network, so everyone can see it and no one can change it.
This is revolutionary. This could change the way money moves around the world. There'd be no exchange fees, there'd be barely any financial fraud, and access to finance would be democratized to an almost unprecedented degree. My child's a genius.
It's not my idea, Daddy. And whilst what you said is true, it's pretty myopic just to focus on money.
Okay, don't get ahead of yourself.
Right now, blockchain is revolutionizing all sorts of industries. Checking that chocolate is fair trade is just one issue of provenance, also faced by industries like the tuna industry, worldwide charities, or even intellectual property like music or scripts. Blockchain's also streamlining processes and self-executing contracts to lower admin costs in areas like insurance, the property market, and the energy industry. And don't even get me started on verification. Timestamp digital passports mean we can dispense with physical thing. Elections will prove every vote is cancelled and verified. And that's all before blockchain really takes off.
Well, what happens then?
I don't know. I'm only 10, Daddy.
What?
Don't forget your chain.
There we go. So again, no election fraud. It's gonna expose all the criminality going on in the world right now. And that's what the New World Order do not want. So there we go. We'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the show. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.